I'm delighted to say we're joined on the line now from Denmark ahead of this game by Danish football writer and broadcaster Rasmus Dam Nielsen. Morning, Rasmus.
Morning, guys.
And thanks for taking our call.
Sure.
Kind of interested in this game in a lot of ways. Primarily, obviously, there's a lot of Irish fans en route over there this morning. We've been speaking to them a little bit earlier on, and we figure there's about 1,000 or so who have tickets for the away section here, and obviously not sure if they're going to get in. I know the Danish FA have been saying this week that if Ireland were to score a goal, that if these guys were to celebrate, it might cause some trouble. Any further sense at this point, this juncture of the week, whether the 1,000 or so Irish fans with tickets for the Denmark spaces are going to get in?
I believe so. But there were some news yesterday about a lot of Irish people, Irish fans, having bought tickets that wasn't real. That were fake tickets, and the Danish Football Federation has been cancelling a lot of tickets. So let's cross our fingers that the guys taking the journey to Copenhagen actually also get in.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a good night for them either way, win, lose or draw, Rasmus. Yeah. We were talking to one of your Danish colleagues actually a few weeks ago just about the style of Danish play. It's still sort of hard to get my head around exactly what sort of style that is. He was talking about the sort of tiki-taka almost that Ugo Harreide has brought into the team since he's come into it, and then there's also the sort of long ball that's an effective tactic that you guys are using. And Ugo Harreide, I know, has said this week that he's not going to be inventing anything new for the game. Like, it is a unique thing. A playoff is a unique thing that can sometimes dictate a style of play that we might not be necessarily used to seeing from a team. What are you expecting from the Danish style tomorrow night?
I can understand that you maybe have a trouble getting your head around it, because it has been changing during the qualifier. As you know, when Morten Olsen was the coach for a decade, his style of play was very inspired of Holland, the way they play there, a lot of possession ball. And what Ugo Harreide has been doing is sort of taking the best of that and then combine it with high pressure and maybe also made it a bit more simple, with it's saying it's all right to kick a long ball once in a while, so that we get the field a bit stretched out. So the spaces for the players gets a bit bigger. That's especially the key to the success of Christian Eriksen. I've been talking a lot with Ugo Harreide about Christian Eriksen and why he's just developed so much under him. And he says that one of the things they've been doing is that when you play possession ball, the spaces for the players gets very small, because the ball just goes round and round, and it's pretty easy for the defending team to get back in the defensive line. But if you quickly turn the play around, maybe kick a long ball across, then you have the chance to pick up the second ball, and Christian Eriksen is eminent for that. And when he has that, all of a sudden the field is much longer and the space where he can unfold is much bigger. So it's been really for Ugo Harreide about having the high pressure and also create these spaces between the midfield and the defense that Christian Eriksen especially can unfold.
Yeah, it seems that Christian Eriksen's peak for Spurs has come at the same time as it has for Denmark. Obviously, he's getting more towards maturity in terms of age, but also it seems like Harreide has been watching a lot of Tottenham and how Mauricio Pochettino sets up and gets the best out of Eriksen.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, as you say that the involvement came on the same time in Tottenham and Denmark. Actually, the frustration in Denmark has been seeing Christian Eriksen play so well for Tottenham, and then when he got into the national team, he wasn't able to perform until Ugo Harreide entered as a national coach. Under him, he's been scoring, I think it's 12 goals in 16 games, and that's totally unheard if you compare it to his statistics under Morten Olsen. So yeah, I guess you're right that Åke Hareide has been very inspired by how Pochettino has been able to get the best out of Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, we've been kind of obsessing about Christian Eriksen here, it has to be said, over the last couple of weeks. Maybe we won't be right about that. One of the things from the Irish point of view, Rasmus, is the Irish physicality. They've been speaking about kind of aggression a little bit this week. They've shown capacity to do it over the last little while, particularly a player like James McLean doesn't mind getting a tackle in nice and early. What's the... What have you seen other teams go at Denmark in that way? What's the reaction been, or how are they necessarily set up to deal with like that aggression or physicality from Ireland?
They haven't met a team like Ireland, and I think that's what gives Åke Hareide a bit of a headache, because actually what Denmark has been having the most success with is playing with the long balls, doing the high pressure, doing the tackles, be aggressive. And I know that Åke Hareide is in doubt whether that would be the right recipe against Ireland. When the draw was made and he saw that it was Ireland that Denmark were up against, he told us, the media right afterwards, that okay, maybe we have to change the plan a bit. We can't play as we, for example, did against Poland, where we won 4-0. Surprising win, because we really surprised Poland with the aggressive style of play. But now we have Ireland, which is more physical, as you say, than Denmark probably is. So I think the way he will approach the game is by playing a little more, on the grass, so to say, not playing too many long balls, because we know that Ireland is strong in the air and strong in the tackle. So we have to be, smarter and play faster than the Irish.
One of the guys that Hareide has brought back into the squad recently is Nicklas Bendtner. Now, in this part of Europe, he's kind of a parody of a player. There's a lot of people who like to laugh at Nicklas Bendtner, but in Denmark, I understand he's a bit of a cult hero, and everybody, the fans in particular, were delighted to see him back.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the same with this. We've been laughing of Nicklas Bendtner as well, but it's been also sad tears, because we know how big a talent he was and how he wasted it. But everyone likes to see the unsung hero coming back, and now for almost the first time in his career he's actually scoring a lot of goals, maybe since Birmingham, and that makes him sort of maybe the Joker. I think that he won't be a part of the start 11. I think Nikolaj Jørgensen will be Åke Hareide's prime pick for the front striker, but I think he will definitely be a player that Åke Hareide will bring when we need a goal in the last part of the game.
One of the, we obviously, I don't know if you heard the clip just before you came on there, we had Peter Schmeichel in Dublin last night at our roadshow here. Pretty entertaining guest, and guy I'm sure you're very familiar with. But a lot of conversation last night, and it's funny how kind of before that it had gone under the radar to a degree, was about his son obviously, and the impact that he might have in the game, and a lot of interesting stuff from Peter on it last night. What's the sense in Denmark about Kasper Schmeichel? And it seems a ridiculous thing to say because he's been at a club that obviously won the Premier League, but is there a sense that, because we would have had it with Shay Given here for years, that actually this was a keeper who could really have been playing at bigger clubs? Now, he obviously went to Manchester City latterly, but that he could have been at a United or an Arsenal or a bigger club than Newcastle. What's the sense of Kasper Schmeichel and where he's at and where he's going in Denmark?
Yeah, that's actually, your comparison with Shay Given is really good, because everyone in Denmark thinks that Schmeichel should be in a bigger club. Of course, as you say, it's pretty big being in a club who's won the Premier League. But yeah, there's been rumors of Liverpool. There's been rumors of Man United if De Gea was to leave. I think he would fit great in Liverpool. I think he would be more than capable to play there. But the most important thing, of course, for us Danes is that he performed for Denmark, and he has certainly been so far. He's not the unbreakable wall as his father was, but he's been playing so good that most of us has been stopping make the comparison to his dad.
In front of him then as well, you've got Simon Kjær and Andreas Christensen, two players who seem to have, they're obviously both playing Champions League football this season, so it seems their trajectory is on the rise at just the right time. Unfortunately, from our perspective, it seems like Christensen played one of his best games in a Chelsea shirt just last weekend in the Premier League. How confident are you in their capabilities as a partnership at centre-half in terms of stopping the Irish threat?
I must say that I don't think that Andreas Christensen will play, and that's quite interesting because, as you say, he might play his best game ever against Man United this weekend. But as Åge Hareide has been saying, you can play in Chelsea, you can play in Real Madrid, you can play in Barcelona, but the most important thing is that we play with the players that makes the team as best as it can be. And obviously, as a captain, Simon Kjær is Åge Hareide's prime pick. And at the moment, he thinks that Andreas Bjelland, who plays at Brentford, is the best suitable partner for him. So I think that would be the two players starting, amazingly enough, because Andreas Christensen probably is the biggest or the most talented player of those three. But we're quite confident in those two. They've been playing very, very well in the last couple of games in the qualifier.
One point that we can kind of get a little bit of hope from an Irish perspective is that while the Denmark trajectory is on the up, it's still not there. There is still more improvements to be made in this young Denmark squad. The other thing is they failed to qualify for the Euros, which everybody seemed to qualify for. So is this something that you are particularly worried about?
Not that that we would be nervous not to qualify. I think we're more nervous that we're playing against a team that can upset us because of their style of play. There's no doubt about that Denmark is really in a hunger for being at a big summer playoff, big summer championship. But I don't think that what can you say? The bad results in the past will have any influence on the performance at Saturday and Tuesday.
Just to wrap things up, Rasmus, obviously Denmark's undoing was the kind of poor enough start to their group campaign. They got a lot of momentum towards the end of it, which is obviously in your favour. Denmark are favourites for the game, and we've definitely gone on the roller coaster of being very confident to being not so sure. I think I'm definitely in the not so sure category now. Is there a wave of optimism in Denmark about this game?
Yeah, definitely. I think the Danish national team hasn't been this popular for a long time, and we haven't lost in over a year. So people are really, really expecting Denmark to go through here. But we also know that it's going to be very difficult, and I think every Danish fan has, they think we will win, but they have this little thought that it could also go wrong.
I think we're probably in a similar sort of boat there. Rasmus Dam Nielsen, thanks a million for joining us from Denmark this morning.
Thank you.